Good morning or good afternoon for those of you joining later on today. You're seeing your classroom. Man, do I miss seeing your faces in those seats. Hopefully, at least you're sitting somewhere comfortable and not in those hard seats. Anyway, this morning I was thinking about the best way to approach teaching 1984, and I had a couple of aha moments that I wanted to share with you. And it's going to sound a little bit roundabout to get to my point, but kind of need the background to understand where I'm going. So my number one goal as a teacher is to teach my students the art of critical thinking. I don't want to tell you what to think. I want to encourage you to figure out how to think for yourselves. And there's no book more important to teach that than 1984. And we'll talk about that more in a second. One of the struggles for me as a teacher, in order to make you think for yourselves, I can't stand at the front of the classroom and tell you what a book means or tell you how to think about something. You have to do it for yourselves. And in order to do that, you need to be exposed to as much information as possible. Whether you're reading a book or you're reading online or you're reading articles, whether you're having conversations with people who you don't normally talk to or conversations with your teachers in class, whether you're watching stuff on TV or Netflix or movies or TikTok, God bless America, or whether or not you are writing. These are all things that you need to be able to do, that you need to do in order to learn how to critically think. And that's not a skill that ever stops getting stronger. That's a skill that the more you experience the world and the words in the world and the people in the world and all of that, the greater capacity you have for critical thinking. So since I can't really be at the front of the classroom and kind of just talking at you for an extended period of time, it really requires, you guys to meet me halfway, my students, not just, the seniors. You have to be engaged in your own education. And what remote learning is teaching me is that a lot of my students, and I'm including my sophomores in this conversation as well, a lot of my students are relying on an outside force to get them involved in their education. Whether that outside force is earning points, which is not the same as learning. I know that we've set up our education system that way, but it's not the same as learning. Whether it's earning points or having a teacher in front of you to remind you to do a task, or whether it's parents harping on you to go to school or log on, whatever it is, it's an outside force. It's not you saying, I want to learn how to do this or how to think for myself. And again, I'm talking in broad terms. This is not everyone, but this is, food for thought. Now that we're remote and I'm teaching 1984, it's more ironic than anything, because if anything, George Orwell in that first book shows us that sitting back and being complacent and allowing others to think for you and tell you what to think can be utterly catastrophic. And I'm hoping that if you did read book one and not the Spark Notes, which would make George Orwell turn over in his grave and make my heart break a little bit, that we really need to be more active. And honestly, in 2020, with all of the information out there, allowing other people to interpret it for us will open that catastrophic path that Orwell was trying to warn us against. So in addition to Orwell's book one telling us that not thinking for ourselves could be bad, it also kind of tells us that isolation, not having a relationship, not romantic relationship, but any relationship, is incredibly unhealthy. And it's much easier to allow other people to do the thinking for you. So I'm going to segue now into my next aha moment this morning. I was thinking about one of the reasons why I love teaching seniors, especially AP, is that as the year progresses, I get to build a relationship with my students, and I get to see them, I don't want to say grow up because that's insulting, but I get to see them blossom. That's a better way to put that. And the best way to articulate how I get to see that is through the conversations that I get to have with you guys in class. Now, not the pre-planned, hey, what did you think of chapter 1 kind of questions and answers, but like the tangent that comes off of those kind of questions, where you're sharing your personal opinions and what it reminded you of, and it opens up this organic conversation that allows my seniors to actually experience the world through other people's eyes. And I'm sad because I feel like this remote learning is taking that opportunity away. All of that to get to these 2 points. I know I'm a little long-winded today. Not talking to a lot of people right now, so you guys have to suffer the brunt of that. But the first point I want you to get out of this is you get out of it what you put into it. You are living at a time when you literally have a wealth of information at your fingertips. So if you truly want to learn, there's no one that can stop you. There will be people who might try. They might throw some obstacles in your way. But if you really want to learn, there's no one stopping you. So instead of kind of bemoaning the work, quote unquote work, that we have assigned to you, that teachers have assigned to you, as something that you need to check off to get points, I challenge you guys to kind of look at this as an opportunity to take responsibility, to like step in and be at least 50% engaged, and realizing what you're trying to learn from something isn't necessarily rote facts or data, but how you learn as an individual. Those of you who are planning on going on to college, that's really important in the world of academia, that you understand how you learn. Even if you're not going on to college, it's really important to understand that in this world, learning is the #1 skill that is going to ensure happiness and success. Not necessarily monetary success, but like if you look at all the businesses that are experiencing difficulties right now, they're from the being shut down, like this is an adaptation period. Like they have to learn how to adapt in order to continue finding a way in the lockdown and the challenges that it faces. And without that ability to learn, you're going to start to see some of those businesses kind of die off because they know one way and only one way, and they struggle to open their minds. So I'm challenging you to look at what we're experiencing for at least the next month as an opportunity for you to figure out how you learn and different ways to learn. And the second thing all of this rambling is getting me to is that I'm going to hold live meetings every day, whether or not the quote-unquote assignment or evaluation requires it. I can't obviously mandate that you be there because I know everybody has different issues that they have to deal with. Some of you are babysitting younger siblings. Some of you are sharing devices with other people in the household. Some of you have internet like intermittently, so I understand that we have challenges in order to be somewhere at a certain time, but I want to have those live meetings even if we're all working on the same thing at the same time, so you guys have a space that you can share thoughts that pop into your head or questions that come up, a place to have conversation. So the isolation that a lot of us are feeling or dealing with, I think this will give us an opportunity, a safe space to feel that way. So even if you just want to join to listen, you don't have to actually talk. It's nice to have that space. So if you listen to my whole rambling, philosophizing chat here, what I would like you to do is to send me a private chat with a picture of your favorite holiday decoration, whether it's a Christmas ornament or a menorah, or I don't know how you decorate for Kwanzaa. Now I feel like I have to go research that. That's interesting. But there are several holidays going on right now. So if you have a favorite decoration, just shoot me a chat with a picture of that. And then if you want to add your own thoughts about everything I said, I'd absolutely love that.